So hello everyone. In today's class, we are discussing different clock gating circuits, clock gating circuits in switched capacitance minimization. So mainly, this chapter addresses the problem of switched capacitance minimization. So that is implemented to use both the hardware and software based approaches to minimize the switched capacitance. So what is meant by this switched capacitance means while we are manufacturing the mass devices, so that means already we know different fabrication ways to manufacture the mass devices. So already in VLSI we have studied PMOS fabrication and NMOS fabrication. For CMOS, it is P-well process and N-well process, a twin tub process. So while we are manufacturing these mass devices, so uh, while manufacturing itself, so we are using so many metal and oxide and the semiconductor materials. So we are injecting that metal and oxide semiconductor materials into a proper substrate, a proper substrate. So after whenever we are reaching the final step of the fabrication, so we have to follow different steps, different type of steps to achieve the goal of a suitable mass device. So those are steps. Steps are nothing but oxidation, metallization, and different type of steps. We will use etching and ion oxidation. By using these steps, so finally we will achieve a desired mass device. So while we are injecting the materials in between the source area and the substrate into the substrate, in between from the source to drain or drain to source. So whatever the layers present within the source terminal and the drain terminal, so in those terminals, so we have that will introduce some of the capacitances. So those capacitances will be larger or very high. Then the circuit will, yeah, the circuit will consume some more power dissipation. So that circuit may consume either it may be static power dissipation or dynamic power dissipation. So if the both categories, if the static and the dynamic power dissipation will be increases, then the circuit will does not operate under low power, and also that will not fulfills that will not fulfills the desired functionality of the circuit. So to overcome that uh, power dissipation, that means static and the dynamic power dissipations, so we are using already in the last chapter we have discussed various voltage scaling approaches, so which provide the most effective techniques to minimize the dynamic power dissipation. So whatever we are using some of the voltage scaling approaches, so those approaches also minimize the dynamic power dissipation. So here whatever they exist already, we discussed those um, voltage scaling techniques, voltage scaling approaches, but in this chapter, so these techniques, the switched capacitance minimization also, so if you are controlled the capacitance value in between from one layer to another layer, or from one point to another point, or one lead to another lead. So when we control these capacitance uh, values, then the circuit or the device so simply controls, or simply the circuit does not consume more power whenever we control the switched capacitance in between one terminal to another terminal, in between one terminal to another terminal. So in this chapter we are seeing different approaches. So various approaches based on the switched capacitance minimization. So this switched capacitance can be minimized at various levels of design and hierarchy. So it may be a system level approach based on the hardware software co-design, or it will also controlled by using various techniques such as gray coding, one hot coding, bus inverse coding, and T0 encoding. And these bus encoding texts can be used to reduce the switching activity on bus. So, and we in today's class we will see various aspects of clock gating techniques. So how the clock gating techniques will control the capacitance values present within the mass devices. So this clock gating technique, so simply we are using a clock signal. So when we are considering it may be a combinational circuit or sequential circuit. So for every circuit, so this clock will be acts like as a to process the signals from input to output. So for that we have to use a proper clock signal to process the data from input to output. So these clock signals is commonly used in majority of logic blocks in very large scale integration chip. Is a very large scale integration chip. So this clock signal is some commonly we have to use for majority of logic blocks. So if we are having four sections within a circuit, so individually we can operate for every logic block. We have to give a proper clock signal to fulfill that functionality of that logic block, or otherwise so that commonly we have to give a clock signal a proper to operate proper operations with respect to that design. So here the clock switches in every cycle. So this clock will switches from high to low, or low to high value in every cycle for every operation. So this clock will uh, helps to move the data from one end to another end, or to properly operate or to properly function that specific circuit. So that will be uh, that is done by using this type of clock signal. So the clock switches in every cycle. It has a switching activity of one. So generally, the for the clock signals, it has the most priority or highest priority one. So that's why the clock signal has the switching activity of one. So in other case, it is also uh, takes 50% of the dynamic power originates from clock related circuits. So whenever we given given to a clock signal for a desired circuit, so the clock signal will consume or the entire operation. So 50% of the operation will depend on the nature of the clock signal. The nature of the clock signal will takes place 50% of operation of that circuit. So, and one of the most common and widely used technique for reducing the dynamic power dissipation is a clock gating. So this is the most widely used technique to reduce the dynamic power dissipation of the circuit. So by using this clock, whenever we are implementing the clock gating between any type of individual circuits or any functional unit. So by by using that clock gating signal. So that clock gating signal will be completely reduces the source, the dynamic power dissipation of the circuit, the dynamic power dissipation of the circuit. So here mainly it is it is mainly it has a large portion of signal transition. So these are unnecessary, and therefore they can be suppressed to reduce power dissipation without affecting the functionality of the circuit. So whatever here this clock signal, it observed that mainly it has a large portion of signal transitions are we doesn't require those signals are unnecessarily, and they can be suppressed to reduce power dissipation without affecting the functionality of the circuit. So CZ this CZ involves so this clock gating involves dynamically this clock gating signal involves dynamically when so it will be preventing the clock from propagating to some portions of the clock path under a certain condition computed by the additional circuits. So as shown in the above figure. So when we are observing the power, the power reduction using the clock gating signals, So these clock, whenever we see the proper power reduction in this power reduction using the clock gating signal. So we have a clock running active signal in above part. So this whenever the clock running signal will be in active mode, so then that will be the dynamic power dissipation will be reduces. The dynamic power dissipation of the circuit will reduces. So then whenever the clock signal is in ideal condition, then the circuit will faces the leakage problem that will be introduces within the circuit. So that means whenever the clock is in running state, with 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 help of that circuit. So then that whatever the power consumption of the circuit will be reduces. So if that the clock signal is in ideal condition, so then that circuit doesn't introduce or doesn't uh, follow follow up uh, the follow up the process of circuit. So then it doesn't the circuit is in not working condition. So then that will introduce the leakage currents or leakage voltage within the device. So then ideally the circuit will consume more high power dissipation, more dynamic power dissipation. So that can be suppressive reduce power dissipation without affecting the functionality of the circuit. So whenever this clock gating will present with a specific device, so that will completely reduces the power dissipation without affecting the functionality of the circuit. So that will be the clock gating signal will not disturb the functionality or working condition of the circuit. And also the CZ, the clock gating involves so this dynamically preventing the clock from propagating to some portions of the clock path under a certain condition computed by additional circuits. So this only a leakage power dissipation takes place when a circuit is clock gated, and the reduction in dynamic power dissipation takes place due to the reduction of switched capacitance in the clock network and the switching activity in the logic block is fed by the clock gated storage elements. So whenever this clock gating is present, then the circuit is doesn't suffer with leakage power dissipation, and that will be completely that reduces the dynamic power dissipation. So why the dynamic power dissipation is reduced means, so here the reduction of switched capacitance in the clock network. So whenever the clock is presented, then that will be control. The clock signal completely controls the whatever the capacitance values present in the from one node to another node, or from one terminal to another terminal. So based on that, it will be completely reduces the uh, reduces the capacitance value. So if the capacitance value reduces, so it will completely controls it will completely controls the power dissipation of the circuit. So in figure 8.14, so when we observe the figure 8.14, so here we have the functional gating signal. FG is functional gating signal, and CG, that means clock gating device, clock gating block, and another one is functional unit. So this functional gating signal that will be developed enable signal, and for the clock gating we give the clock signal. So from the output of CG circuit, so we get the clock gating signal. So this clock gating signal will control the whole operation of the functional unit. Whole operation of the functional unit. So at the place of this functional unit, we can take any type of circuit. Either it may be a simple AND gate, or either it may be a simple OR gate, or either it may be a simple XOR gate. So for that, so we'll see in CG circuits how that will clock gating signal will takes place, how that will be worked with the simple gates. So in next topic we will see how that will be works like as a simple gates. So in this figure in 8.15a, we have to see a simple clock gating using AND gate, and the B figure clock gating using OR gate, and in the C figure uh, that is glitch propagation through the AND gate, and D figure glitch propagation through the OR gate. So here the notations are: EN means enable, and the CLK is global clock, and CLKG gated clock. So for operations of this simple AND gate operation, so we know that simple AND gate operation. So here the mechanism of CG is shown in this figure. So here a combinational circuit is used to detect the condition. So here whatever we are discussing, any type of circuit, either it may be combinational or sequential, or and or whatever the device, so that is used to detect the condition. So when a specific functional unit is in use and generate and enable signal. So here we have to use a specific functional circuit, that is a functional clock signal. So that will be used and that will be generates an enable signal. So when the ideal condition of the functional unit is true, so if the functional unit is ideal, that means effectively operating. So the clock to the functional unit shuts off with the help of CG circuit. So here the clock is the global clock, and clock G is the gated clock generated by the CG unit. So here the CG circuits will generate clock signal, and also clock G signal is the gated clock generated by the CG unit. So after several implementations, have been proposed to realize the CZ function. So here the simplest one is implemented with the help of an AND gate. So that will be shown in this figure. When the output of the CZ function, so if the output of the CZ function FC is 0, the output of the AND gate is forced to 0. So that means if any one of the input, so already we know that the AND gate operation, so if any one of the input is 0, if any one of the input is 0, the output will be 0. The output will be 0. So uh, if the function fc is 0, the output of the AND gate is forced to 0. Thus, that suppressing unnecessary transitions on the gated clock G. So here, uh, if the any one of the input is 0, so that the clock G, the gated clock is also 0. That means so that is the true functionality and the correct functionality of the AND gate. So to maintain that proper clock gating signal, so there is no possibility to implement another operations or another functionalities. So that will suppressing the unnecessary transitions on the gated clock signal. However, if the CG function does not stabilize to 0 level before the clock rises to high level, so the glitch generated by the FG so propagates through the AND gate, propagates to the AND gate. So here, whenever the clock G, that gated clock signal will not maintain a 0 level, so then that will introduce the glitching component. So whenever the circuit will introduce a glitching components, then the power, the capacitance will be becomes more, and that switching capacitance becomes more means that power dissipation of the circuit will be very high. So that the functionality will be the whatever for what purpose we designed the circuit, so that will not implement in proper manner, that will not implement in proper manner. So that will be indicated in C figure. So here we have the enable and the clock signal. So if the clock signal is perfectly we have to maintain, so then the clock that the gated clock is also true. When the clock will be, that means if that enable signal and the clock signal will not maintain in proper manner, so then it will be gives introduces the glitches in the output of the circuit. Introduces the glitches in the output of the circuit. So in this case, when the output of the CG function is 0, so the output of the OR gate is forced to 1. OR gate is forced to 1. So here suppressing unnecessary transition on the gated clock signal as long as the enable signal stabilizes before the high to low transition of the clock. So the glitch generated by the gated function circuit, so that cannot propagate through the OR gate, that cannot be propagated through the OR gate. So the glitches generated by the CG function can be filtered by using a level sensitive or level active latch and the AND gate. So that will be shown in this below figure. So we have to use some of the level circuits. So whatever the glitches present within a single stages, so to control those type of glitches, so we have to use a level sensitive circuits to minimize the glitches. So that will be freezes the latch output at the rising edge of the clock and ensures that the new enable signal at the input of the AND gate is stable when the clock is high. So this also allows the entire clock period to propagate the enable signal to the latch. So finally, so it provides flexible timing constraint and also a level sensitive and low active latch along with the OR gate. It can be used for better glitch suppression and for special special concentration. That means, so what I am saying means, here whatever we are using these type of circuit, so it will be reduces completely reduces the power dissipation of the circuit. That means, especially the dynamic power dissipation of the, so whenever the clock signal is in active mode, so the circuit does not introduce the leakage currents or leakage problems with that circuit, with a specific circuit. So here we in gated clock gated circuits also, we have different type of granularity. So granularity of the circuit block at which CG is applied at important issue. So it greatly affects the power savings that can be achieved by CG achieved by CG. So that is, we are having different type of uh, clock gating techniques. Those are nothing but module level G and the register level CG, cell level CG. So in different type of parts, we have to use the gate clock gating circuit. So this we will see what is meant by mod level CG means. So the small level CG, it will involve shutting off an entire block or module in the design, leading to large power savings. Large power saving. So this module, so module by module, we can save the power dissipation. Then overall we can control the dynamic power dissipation of the circuit. So for example, what is meant by entire block or module means, so we have some of the examples for these blocks which are explicitly used for some specific purposes, such as transmitter and the receiver for transmitting purposes and the receiver purposes, and the ADC unlock to digital converters, and MP3 players. So at this when transmitter we are having, it will consist mainly three blocks. That means, in any transmitter, so we have the channel and the communication system. We have the transmitter, channel, and the receiver. So again, in transmitter we have so many sections. That means modulation, so we have to modulate the signal, and we have the carrier signal. So finally we get the modulated signal. So that modulated signal will be given to the transmitter. So the transmitter will transmit that signal from one end to another, and from one end to another end. So the transmitter can be turned off when the receiver is in use, and vice versa. So when the receiver is in on condition, so the transmitter will be turned off, or when the transmitter is in on condition, the receiver will be turned off. Identified by the designer and incorporated in the register transfer logic code. So although the global or module level CG can provide large saving in power, when used, its opportunity is limited. So moreover, as the large blocks are turned off and on, so this approach may result in it will mainly used in module level gated clock signal for us. So that means, for every individual block we have to give a clock gating signal to prevent the more power dissipation, so that is about different clock gating signals will be uh, used in different circuits. So that is about uh, different clock gating signals or approaches we will use in different digital circuits and continuous range signals. So and the remaining, so we will continue in the next class. We will continue the remaining topics in next class. Okay, we will meet in next class. Thank you.
సాయి ఇంకా ఆపేసే సాయి. సాయి